This is Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance in the Los Angeles area, joined by Alex Johnson. He is a member of the Los Angeles County Board of Education, which is what? It's not the LAUSD board.
It's not the LAUSD board,
Okay.
but the Los Angeles County Board of Education. Our primary responsibility is to oversee the fiscal aspect of school districts. So we monitor fiscal solvency of all the school districts in LA County. We support our juvenile justice institutions in LA County by providing the instruction to our juvenile camps in LA County, which is about 1,200 students who are in our juvenile camps and halls in LA County, 3 halls and 14 camps. LACO also operates 2 schools, LA County High School for the Arts and iPoly. So
I know them both, fine
two
institutions.
very notable institutions. And then finally, one of the things that is unique about LA County is that we are one of the largest Head Start providers, Head Start grantee agencies, super grantee agencies in the nation, and support students on the continuum from early education on through high school. And so LACO is a very unique opportunity governed by a 7-member board with an appointed superintendent, Dr. Deborah Duardo.
And what I think is unique about county boards of education is that you are providing support services for districts within the county. So that can be extremely beneficial for these districts. They're not at it alone.
They're not at it alone. We provide a significant amount of support for districts in special education, obviously with helping them with their fiscal oversight, with teachers and professional development. And we also, with respect to the districts, make sure that there are learning opportunities, technology. So LACO has a unique role in the education space, and it's a huge asset to LA County.
I want to talk about an element of public policy that's facing school districts. Folks may not have realized it was going to happen because many folks believed that the presidential election would lean one way, and it wound up that Donald Trump was victorious. In the wake of his victory, the superintendent of public instruction for the state of California, Tom Torlakson, said that public school campuses will not be an arm of immigration agents. He urged all school districts to become safe havens. These are strong words, and to the new administration, fighting words, arguably. What's your sense of his calls, his pleas?
He's spot on. We have a moral obligation to ensure that all of our students are safe on campuses. If you can't be safe on a campus, where are you going to be safe at? I just saw a story the other day of a parent who was dropping his child off at a school, and the parent was intercepted by ICE agents as they were dropping off their child. Just the horror that you can imagine, which comes from that. And so Superintendent Torlakson is entirely spot on. We have to dig in, we have to resist, we have to make sure that our children are protected. Every single child ought to be protected.
Talk about that, because in the wake of the election, forget the inauguration, but in the wake of the election, I read articles, I spoke with educators, and what they were finding is that there were students on their campuses that were literally petrified. They may have been born in America, but they didn't necessarily understand the complex nature of immigration laws. They may have had a grandparent that was undocumented or a older sibling that was undocumented. It became hard to educate. And so at LACO, I mean, I presume you're providing support. What do you say to teachers when they're presented with this situation?
Well, I think
what should teachers say to the students?
You know, teachers, number one, have to tell students that they're safe, that they're protected.
Are they?
If we are making sure that our campuses do not become arms and pathways for ICE, if we're making sure that our law enforcement officers who are on campuses and are protecting campuses are not agents of ICE, if we're making sure that our teachers and our administrators and that those who are in the sanctuary of the school environment are not becoming agents of the federal government, then yes, we are on the pathway to making sure our students are safe. Again, I think it's a hard conversation to have. I don't know where I would start with a student who is coming to me in tears because they've seen their parent or their grandparent or their cousin being impacted by immigration enforcement agents coming to their home. I don't know what I would say, but want to reach out and give them a hug and tell them that we are there and that we are going to help them by any means necessary.
This study that I'm about to tell you is before the election, and it does deal with college students, but I think it's instructive. UCLA put out a study that said that 37% of female students and 29% of male students without documentation reported stress above clinically healthy levels. I can only imagine where these numbers are today, be it for the DACA kids, the kids that are thought they were protected because they were brought here as children, or for the kids that are in K-12.
Look, again, it's another call for counselors on campus. It's another call to make sure that we have the mental health professionals. But again, I think it's a clarion call to all of us that we have to be in this together to provide whatever support is necessary for our young people on campuses. The stress levels that are going through families, I don't know what the data speaks to now, but you can only imagine that it's skyrocketing daily with the incessant level of just general craziness that's coming out of the White House.
So how far does a district go? Because the president has been clear, at least as it relates to sanctuary cities, whatever that may mean, that he's looking to withhold federal funding from sanctuary cities. Again, we don't know how he defines that. We know that the UC-CSU and California Community College System is fighting his statements and indicating that they won't play in that sandbox. But they get a huge amount of federal funds. I mean, the UC receives $8.5 billion from the feds. I mean, if all of a sudden we have funding withdrawn, wow.
Well, look, LACO in and of itself receives tens of millions of dollars in federal funding through our Head Start, through other categorical programs that we support. And while I don't want to make policy from this space, I will say that it is immoral, and it is our duty as educators, as those who are representing students, to make sure that they're protected, make sure that they're safe, and make sure that we're doing all we can within the bounds of the law to keep them, to keep the federal government at bay and not to take away money allocated for students.
But here's what's concerning to some. And I used to be a lawyer, so I don't know if this argument holds sway. But
I used to be a lawyer too.
Exactly. So let's remember in the 1960s when President Lyndon Johnson wanted to make sure that southern school districts desegregated. What did he say? You don't desegregate, I'm going to withhold federal funds. I mean, arguably that was legal then. Could the president not do the same today?
Well, I would hope, and I believe that we have some tremendous advocates in Congress, in the Senate, in the House, who will put up every single fight, every single barrier that is legally available.
And there are some Republicans.
And some Republicans.
That are nervous about this.
I think the nervousness needs to translate into forceful action and into Republicans speaking up about it.
His name is Alex Johnson. He is a member of the Los Angeles County Board of Education. We're in Los Angeles today. My name is Brad Pomerance. Thank you for joining us on Local Edition.